G'day and hi my fellow zombie slays, it is Milmo here, finishing off this chapter 22, the Marsh. We've got the last closing stages into this. The first two, currently we've had 3 zombie stages and 1 people stage. Stage 1 and 2 was zombie, third one was people, fourth one back to zombie, continuing on with zombies again for stage 5. Been fairly easy, not too much I think has gone wrong so far. Like I said, I'm not running in a very high crit team. Probably, yeah, it's not the highest crit team I can get, but it's good enough. It's a good amount of crit either way. I'm not complaining. I'm not trying to downgrade these guys. They are a mean green zombie killing machine led by Ezekiel there with the plus 24 crit. Also gives the medium boost to drop rate. So I haven't got too much in regards to weapons or anything so far, but, you know, hopefully I'm getting a bit more than what people that aren't running him are. That's the whole purpose, but I've not got anything worth noticing so far, but, you know, the drop rates have been okay so far, so that's probably purely down to Ezekiel's drop rate boost there. But yeah, you know, medium bonus. I always try and use these when farming now, even if it's sort of diminishes my team in regard to the leader skills. I try and always use a medium booster up front. Like I said, I could have Kenny running there with the plus 36 crit, but then I wouldn't get the medium boost, and I'm just sort of into this habit of running the medium booster, so we just kept with the Ezekiel mean green machines zombie killing team. That's a mouthful and a half, and somehow I got it out, so that's pat on the back, Milmo, pat on the back. And then we just got him surrounded by basically a bunch of greens. Garrett is the ally there, and then we've got Herschel, got Jesus on the end there, Lee, and then Shiva, which it's pretty cool having Shiva and Ezekiel in the same team. How is that not cool? That's awesome. Yeah, that's cool. It's probably a shame I can't put it where Garrett is, so it looks real cool, and Ezekiel being the leader can't really be in behind it, but pretty cool. So yeah, like I said, 24 crit leader skill, and then I've got basically plus 50 crit weapons, plus 30 crit weapons with the bonus of Slayer number 1, which has the plus 20 crit weapons when your HP is more than 60, which really, like I said when I was saying Slayer 1 is actually quite a valuable upgrade to be having, a nice little upgrade to be having. When it comes to zombies, you're not really getting touched up and hit up enough. If they get close enough to you, then that happens. But realistically, that is a great little add-on for your weapons, being that, like I said, zombies ain't really shooting at you or anything like that, so they actually have to get close, so you're able to take benefit of that plus 20 crit for a very, very long time. If they get close enough to hit you, then they get close enough to hit you. Firstly, they have to do more than 40% damage before they're affecting that plus 20 crit. But then also, if you have a healer, it just takes that out of consideration. You just heal them and they're back to that plus 20 crit. But it's a good little thing. It essentially gives you plus 50 crit onto your weapon, plus 50 crit. And, you know, plus that leader skill, plus 74 crit. It's getting through these stages fairly comfortably. We'll keep with this team regardless of whether we come up against people or anything. As you've seen in stage 3, I will keep them. I'm committed. I will keep these guys going strong. I don't even think in stage 3 I didn't even change up my battle items. I still brought in zombie battle items, so I won't change a damn thing, guys. I will keep this team all the way to the end of this stage. Will I change it up next stage, like next chapter in chapter 23? Possibly. Depends how hard it gets. If it gets a bit harder and I need to change it up and get a bit more crit in there, or I need to change it up for the people stages, I will. But at the moment, these guys seem to be handling this 22 fairly comfortably. Not overly hard at all, but please do remember I've still got a very high amount of crit with that plus 24 crit of the leader and those weapons, so I've still got a solid amount of crit. Yeah, I don't have any crit rushes or anything like that, and this isn't my highest crit team, but it's still a good amount of crit, so don't get fooled by thinking it's too easy. You're still going to need a good amount of crit to get you through, but as you can see, if you got that crit, it's pretty much fine. You're pretty much fine. You're getting through these stages. There's not too much really more I could talk to. Like I always say with zombies, just crit everything. Weapons, leader, battle items. Just absolutely max your crit out as far as possible, or as max as possible. As much as your roster allows you to get, definitely go to that end crit. So as you can see, the first 5 and 6 zombies not flying through them like in 5 seconds, but going through them comfortably enough. It's not affecting me too much, and I've not had to use too many battle items. I've not had to use my nitric oxide or anything like that. I'm just relying purely off the crit this team is giving out, which seems to be a good amount. So this seems great. We're not running into people yet. Got Brocky as leader here. Once again, we'll see how they go, but they seem to be comfortably moving through this with the amount of crit they have. Like I said, I didn't want to go too heavy-handed and bring in like Kenny and have plus 100 crit for every player, because I didn't want it to look too easy. So when people come in with their 4 stars or their zombie teams that don't have as much crit as, you know, those big hit Kenny-led teams that I run do, I didn't want them to be, I guess, shattered when they just got demolished sort of thing. But this team, like I said, it still has a solid amount of crit, but as long as you can get pretty much a solid crit leader with the plus 24 crit weapons, it doesn't have to be plus 30 crit weapons. Honestly, it doesn't. 20's purely enough, and probably, like I said, put that Slayer on it. It gives you an extra 20 crit, so you're pumping your weapon from a 20 crit weapon up to a 40 crit weapon with this little bit of an upgrade, and it's fairly easy to do. Time wise, it's quick. Cost wise, with wood and also items, they're quick. It uses 1-star things and that, so it's a really quick, cost effective little upgrade to do. Ran into a few people here, but we'll be right. It's alright. These guys can handle it. They're okay. You got Hershey in there. You got Ezekiel and Shiva. You'll be fine. If you can have a Zeke and Shiva in your team, you'll be right. You'll be right. So 22-7, they've actually thrown a spinner in the works here. It won't bother this team too much. They'll be okay with these people and zombies. So my team will be okay. But if you do struggle with people in regards to with the team you want to use for your zombies, possibly all you have to do, if you're really comfortable with your zombie team in regards to the zombies and you're not needing those battle items for the zombies, then possibly just change up your battle items to incorporate both nerve and tear gas. Then all you have to do basically is kill that inside one, or even, because it is if it's only the 2 waves, we'll see after this one, if it's only the 2 waves, you can just nerve and tear gas the whole lot of the party and literally hinder their attack, hinder their defense, and get rid of them fairly quickly with that zombie team. Like I said, you don't necessarily have to change up your zombie team at all. You don't have to change them. It's probably just your battle items. If you're not got a problem with the zombies and you're like, your team will handle the zombies, then just change up your battle items, honestly, and just like I said, bring in some nerve and tear gas, your smell and salt, your replenishers. You should get through those 2. Yeah, it's only 2 waves. You should get through it still easily with your zombie teams, just using your tear and nerve gas. Like I said, you can bring in 10 of those, so you'll be able to down the attack of every line, so the middle and the 2 outside, you'll be able to down the attack and defense of everyone, which, you know, that's going to help a long way. Probably if you're not got enough hitting power, don't down their defense until you're ready to hit them. Down all the attacks right at the beginning of the wave, yeah, but don't down the defense until you're ready to start on that person or those people. But that's probably my best advice. If you don't want to change your team up too much, just leave your team as is and bring in the battle items for those 2 people waves. It shouldn't be that too difficult. It shouldn't be that difficult. I know my guys just flew through it, but they are an incredible team. So that's like it. It shouldn't be too hard. That's probably my best advice. Just change up your battle items. But if you're not comfortable with your zombie team and you need them battle items to help your zombie team, then possibly you're going to have to take into consideration changing up your weapons to have defensive and also crit purpose, and possibly maybe change up your leader so that it protects you against people, maybe, or bring in someone that has booster defense as their rush. That's probably the only way I see you doing it. So if you don't want to change your leader and you want to keep the crit leader, then possibly bring in someone that has a rush that boosts your defense. Tyrese would be great with the plus 80% defense. Someone like that. It's just someone that's going to boost your defense to help you out, or even someone that can boost your attack also. So just there's a few different options you can do. I'm not going to talk too much about this human stage. As you can see, like I always say, just target your trait bonuses, get rid of them as quick as possible, and be wary of your opposite trait, and you're fine. These guys have incredible rushes, led by usually Lee or Ezekiel's bonus of plus 80% or Lee plus 40%. These guys can get through and pretty much any team, most teams fairly comfortably. In regards to stages, they're fairly comfortable. It takes probably a lot of big hit and alerts before I'm a bit like iffy with these guys, but as you can see, they're going through. But yeah, probably your best options are, if you feel comfortable with your zombie team and you feel they can probably get through, you just saw what mine done. If you feel they can get through them, just equip your battle arms with a nerf and tear gas. Like I said, hit everyone with the attack, down all their attacks so they're not doing too much damage, and then when you're ready to hit them, down their defense so you're doing more damage, and that should be enough to get you through those 2 waves. If not, like I said, you can possibly keep your zombie leader and then bring in someone with defensive or attack rushes or anything like that. So just yeah, be mindful of the 2 people. It's nothing to stress too much about. Just probably be mindful. I didn't have to do anything to change mine. I didn't even have to use battle items, but my team, like I said, is a pretty good team. So just be wary of that. I probably would. Yeah, if it was me and I didn't have this team, I probably just would equip the battle items with the nerf and tear gas and then just hit all the things. That's honestly what I would do. I think it'd be the most effective one. Unless you're running a bunch of, 2 stars or something, you should still be able to get through it fairly easy. 22-8 people stage, fairly comfortably through that one too. Oh, 23, we're moving up our way to the hilltop. So the hilltop. And that's going to be the last stage, but it looks a bit new map coming soon. Who decided to bring Emma along? I thought she died. I don't know. It's been that long since the storyline. I forget, like, people have died in roadmap things, so I just assume they're dead in the story. Like, I forgot Garrett was actually still alive in my story. It's weird. But there we are, some coins, XP, that's useless. Food and wood, as always. Thanks for watching.